Hey, family. I just want to speak to you today heart to heart, right? Confidence is not built by winning. Confidence is built by surviving what you thought would destroy you, something you never believed you would make it through. Let me ask you a very pertinent question. Remember the first time you came to America or you traveled to a country which is out of your home? Because I remember mine very well. That was in August of 2000. A young man with hope, but not a lot of roadmap. Getting into a new country, a new system, a new culture. Just trying to figure out life as it presented itself to me. And then in May of the very next year, my darling mother died. Just like that. She disappeared. She breathed her last at the tender age of 50. And you know what? I was barely 8 months into my new experience in America, but I had to fly back to Cameroon to lay my mother to rest. And I remember standing at her graveyard, at her graveside, trying to be strong, while something inside me felt completely lost. Trust me, I didn't know what to do next. And then I came back to the States, but this time it was different. This time, I wasn't just new anymore. I was a little bit fortified. I was strengthened. Even though I was grieving, even though I was confused and directionless at that point, even though I was afraid of what laid ahead for me, but I knew deep in me that I had to step up. I didn't know what life had in store for me without my mother's voice in the background. I didn't know what to do with the emotions that I felt at that time. I didn't know who I was becoming. I wasn't even sure what the next day would be like. But you know what? I survived. I didn't disappear. I didn't buckle up and disappear. I didn't collapse. I kept moving. And something, just something inside me changed. That is how confidence is built. Not in applause. Not in certainty, not when everything is clear. I don't know what that difficult time was for you, but know that it shaped you. Because when life hits you, on the blind side especially, and you are still standing months later, then you know you are building resilience. Then you know you are building confidence. Now let's talk about this relative to investing. What does this mean for you? The first time your portfolio drops 20%, bam, it feels personal. I don't care who you are. You check it constantly. You start doubting your decisions. You start thinking, maybe I made a mistake by investing. But that feeling, that pressure, that uncertainty, it is the same muscle. It is that same muscle. It is the same emotional muscle you used when life was unclear. When you came through roadblocks that almost annihilated you. But you survived. So if you sell, if you lock into fear, if you stay disciplined, if you keep investing in quality and proven companies, if you zoom out and think long term, that slowly starts changing your identity. It starts resetting your emotions. It starts teaching you about not to act the way you feel. Because you build something more valuable than returns. You will actually be building what we call emotional endurance. Most people think avoiding risk protects them. No, it doesn't. Avoiding risk keeps you small. Every immigrant who left home took a risk. Every entrepreneur who built something significant, meaningful, and long-lasting endured seasons of doubt. Every employee who has worked for 15, 20 years has lost a job a few times. Every investor who built real wealth worked through volatility and uncertainty on the market sometimes. The stock market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. But patience is not passive. Patience is emotional control under pressure. That's what patience is. Emotional control under pressure. Because the first time the market crashes and you stay invested, the first time you dollar cost average into fear, the first time you realize, wait a minute, oh my God, this didn't break me, you level up. That's what you're actually doing. You are going to grow. You are going to become fortified. Because wealth building shifts from numbers to identity. You can never invest better than your identity. You can never invest better than what you believe. You stop acting like someone hoping to get rich. You start thinking like someone building a legacy. Something that lasts for a long time. Because you must remember, $1 million portfolios are not built in comfort, guys. Trust me. $1 million portfolios are not built in comfort. They are accelerated during times of corrections like this. And now listen, and listen very carefully, family. This is not time to panic. This is the time to become the version of you your future will be thankful for. That person your children and grandchildren will sit back and reminisce about with great pride and love. Let me paint something for you. And I want you to pay attention to me. 3, 5, 7 years from this moment, the storm you are afraid of today will be a paragraph in your story. Just like 2000 for me, when I came to America, just like 8 months after in the year 2001 when my mother died, just like the seasons when you didn't know how things would work out. You know what? You will sit at your table. Your portfolio stronger at that time. Your income more stable. Your family even more loving. Your confidence, most importantly, quieter, deeper, with cemented forever. You will not flinch at the headlines. What the news will be saying will not make you panic. Even when you open your portfolio and see red, you're not going to make blunt and stupid decisions. Because you've already survived harder things than a market correction. You survive grief. You survive uncertainty. You survive seasons with no clarity. What is a temporary drop in the market, which will rise a few months later that you cannot survive? And that survival builds identity. One day somebody will ask, how were you so calm during that crash? How did you manage to know what to do? And you know what? You will smile because you remember exactly the moments in your journey where your confidence, where your resilience was built. You would remember the fear. You will remember those moments of doubt. You will remember those moments where you wanted to quit, but you didn't quit. And you will remember that discipline that kept compounding, that kept strengthening you, that kept pointing you in the right direction. Not just your money, but your character. Because don't ever forget, markets recover, but character compounds. So the storm that you're seeing in the market today is not here to destroy you. The storm that you are experiencing in every area of your life, it's here to fortify you. It is here to initiate you. You are not fragile. You are forced by history. And on the other side of this, I know for a fact, on the other side of this discipline, this fortitude is freedom. Freedom for you. Freedom for your legacy. On the other side of this patience is going to be leverage. On the other side of this season, I know, I believe it's a version of you that no headline can shake. So stay planted, guys. Stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. Stay with the long-term mindset. Think legacy over temporary amusement. Because one day soon, just one day soon, you look back at this moment and realize Gustav was right. I am glad our paths crossed because he pointed me in the right direction. This is where you become unshakable. This is where you become unbreakable. You are enough. I'll see you on the seminar on the 26th of February.